much more intricate positions when naked. So, there is no shame in sharing a shower with a lover. It is most pleasant. I do it all the time with lover Naruto. Not to mention Harley, Galatea, and I even did it once or twice with Tala. I had hoped to share at least one moment with Ivy of Poison or the woman named Mercy. But the current situation I am in would not permit me being out from this building. At least for now, said Starfire while lathered her luscious red hair with some shampoo without a care that Kara was staring at her in surprise. I knew this woman was bisexual and had a lack of modesty, but why doesn't this feel like it is too much? Thought Kara while Starfire picked up the soap next and lathered it all over. Do you need help? I find it is most wonderful when showering with another person due to their help in lathering me in places I cannot normally reach, said Starfire, while Kara just blushed further since she was now imagining what happened during and after the lathering of soap on the Tamarin woman's body. No, that's all right. I can lather myself just fine, said Kara while waving her hands in front of her. Oh, okay. Perhaps you would be so kind as to help lather my body with soap in various places, asked Starfire, while Kara's blush had practically gone atomic while the Tamarin woman handed her the soap. What? I don't know. I never really showered with another woman before. So I don't know, replied Kara weakly. It's all right. I can show you where to use the soap, said Starfire while smiling, and put the soap in Kara's hand before the woman could protest. Wait, I don't think, protested Kara before she felt her hands being guided over Starfire's body by the woman herself. Don't worry, just relax and let me guide you, said Starfire in a now sensual voice while she moved Kara's hands over her body. Oh crap! This is getting a bit weird, thought Kara while Starfire moaned at times, and it was clear the Tamarin woman wanted to do more than just shower. Not bad for the first time. But don't worry, I can help you with that too, commented Starfire before she took the soap from Kara's hands and somehow moved closer to the blonde Kryptonian woman. Help. Help with what? Exclaimed Kara before she gasped in surprise when Starfire suddenly kissed her, pinned the woman to the wall, and began to lather the soap all over the Kryptonian's body. Kara, for her part, was too shocked by Starfire's actions to do anything at first. Even if she did, Naruto had taken away her powers again, so the alien red-haired woman was clearly the stronger one between them. It also didn't help that Starfire was touching Kara in all the right places to arouse the still shy woman, and making the blonde superheroine moan from the pleasure she felt from this. It seemed the more she tried to resist Starfire and her skills on how to shower with someone else, the more the Tamarin woman became more determined to keep Kara in place. It wasn't long before both women were moaning, and Kara's resistance to this sexual act in the shower ended in the process. Soon, the two alien women were aggressively gyrating their hips against each other, touching the other's body sensually, and moaning the other's name. And all the while, a seal placed discreetly in the shower was secretly recording it all for someone's personal perverted enjoyment. With Naruto. Naruto was watching the screen before writing things down in his notebook. He loved to write. It was like fuinjutsu. You had to have a certain knack for it. A certain talent. Sure, Jiraiya had some talent in writing, but he sadly focused too much on his book The Smut for his own target audience. There was not enough on the plot when Jiraiya did the series, and Naruto felt it alienated a much wider audience if written correctly for their interests. After all, without a decent plot, all Icha paradise was in terms of literature could be easily summed up as mindless porn. Let's see, I think I'll call this one Icha Paradise, Hot Alien, Lesbians, Interspecies Edition, thought Naruto, while he watched the two women go at it passionately in the shower and his mind working out the plot. Perhaps it should be a tale of two female aliens from different planets, landing on one, becoming friends, more than friends, until finally they become lovers. Yes, that would work out nicely. And maybe both find an attractive man who they both want, but decide to share in order to keep their friendship along with love for each other alive. Hell yes! Being a super pervert rock. Stryker's Island. Lex Luthor grit his teeth and clenched his fist in anger while in his prison cell. Recent events mere hours ago, in having to brutally injure a fellow inmate, had him confined to a single solitary cell. With no resources or power to call his own, everyone assumed Lex Luthor was fresh meat to make their bitch in more ways than one. So the man had to fight almost daily just to survive the angry or more aggressive inmates living here. Many of the criminals after him here in the prison were, ironically enough, formerly employed by Lex in the past and had been stiffed by the businessmen in the past, either financially for a job they were hired to do or in open court, where Luthor had actually testified against his hired help while keeping the fact he had hired them out of it. The only reason roles could not be in reverse was due to the lack of evidence, better lawyers, and a lot more resources surrounding Luthor's means of escaping the law. But now that Luthor had none of these things in his corner, nor friends in high places, it was open season on the ruthless businessman. And due to his many times of screwing over his past associates, almost every single criminal in Stryker's Island wanted Lex's head as a trophy on their prison wall cell. Of course, the fact no one succeeded yet just meant Luthor was also skilled in the ways of survival, and learned quickly to have eyes grow in the back of his head. Even here in the prison wing meant for solitary confinement, Luthor had to keep his wits about him, and his mind sharp for any potential threats. Like now with the visitor appearing in front of him. "So you have finally come to kill me. I don't know whether to be relieved or angry that it's you doing the deed," commented Luthor sarcastically. "Can it be both?" asked Naruto while grinning behind his mask. "I never thought I would meet anyone more annoying than the Joker, but you. I would crush your skull with my bare hands if I could have the opportunity," said Luthor while Naruto chuckled. "Of course you would. I'm sure you would wish to do a lot of things these days. Fleeing the country, living somewhere nice, yet remote with the millions of dollars stored away in hidden offshore bank accounts. Sleeping with women you will throw away a few days later in silence if they become a nuisance," following said, "Throwing away? Hell, I would wager even now you would want to kill Superman right before your own time ended," said Naruto while Luthor scowled further. "No man should have that much power, let alone you and him," remarked Luthor bitterly while Naruto scoffed. "Oh please, spare me your bitter sob story about Superman being everything you wish to be in life, but can't. He has all these powers which are his by right of his own blood, and yet doesn't use any of them to oppress or rule over the people. People who are inferior to him by comparison in every way possible. We both know that if roles were reversed with you having powers, Lex, the world would be brought to its knees with your tyrannical rule, with anyone opposing you being killed by your own hands." "Don't bother denying it," said Naruto with Lex scowling further. "I am the greatest mind and businessman on this planet. My genius is unmatched, and I was considered the pinnacle of the human race. Then Superman comes along with his powers, his honesty, and protecting people from the criminals I occasionally employ. He was a threat to me, my image, my company, and my legacy on the world. I was not about to have my greatness overshadowed by some alien who comes to my planet and tries to make himself out to be something we both know he is not," exclaimed Lex while Naruto tilted his head. "And what exactly is he not?" asked Naruto curiously. "A hero. That man is no hero. The man is an alien. The man is a threat. All the aliens out in that galaxy beyond our world are threats. Threats to my planet. Threats to my city, my company. Threats to my legacy," stated Luthor while Naruto laughed at him. "Do you hear yourself, Lex? Do you really hear yourself talk, saying, 'my planet, my city,' and just about everything else you add in front of the word 'my' when talking about something?" "It's not all about you," stated Naruto with Lex narrowing his eyes at him. "It has always been about me. No one else is more important than me." Lex shot back and Naruto sighed. "You remind me of an old teammate of mine. So full of himself, so arrogant. Thought the world owed him everything, and yet he gave back nothing in return. In fact, my emo for an old teammate hated the world and everything in it, mainly because everyone around him had everything, and he couldn't stand the idea of other people being happy. Just like you. Like him, Lex Luthor believes everything has to revolve around him, and everyone else must do what Lex Luthor commands. You look at yourself in the mirror and just see yourself as some god in mortal flesh, with all the limitations," said Bodyholds. What I see when I look at you is an egotistical bastard, who rather than helping the world become a much better place by aiding Superman, he chose to be a dick and combat the Man of Steel at every turn. Which is a shame because you two could have worked together to make Metropolis and the world a better place to live in, thus increasing the greatness of your legacy by joining with his own to make something truly monumental, said Naruto with Luthor looking livid at the idea. I will never aid that alien in anything he does. I would rather die, declared Luthor in a defiant tone. I know, Lex, which is why I am here. To be honest, I know I should probably let all the other countries have the first crack at you. Considering how Lex Luthor screwed them all over in so many ways that it's not even funny, but given you are a threat to the world as a whole, and no doubt have some plan forming in that bald head of yours to escape. I can't take that chance, replied Naruto, while Luthor growled at him. You do realize my death will just make you a target for everyone else, right? They will want to make someone pay for not getting their own shot at me. The hunter will become the hunted, commented Lex, while Naruto just shrugged. That would be true if they knew of my existence, or if they knew how to hunt me. As it stands, all they would be chasing would be phantom, a ghost, a shadowy wraith. How do you hunt something like me, Lex? You don't even know where to start, and you have gone on and on about being the most brilliant mind on the planet. But if that were the case, then you wouldn't be here in this cell, alone, without a friend or ally in the world to come to your aid? No Amanda Waller. No General Sam Lane from the military. Not even Mercy. So, tell me, Lex, what do you know? Questioned Naruto while Lex hated his own words being used against him. I know you're an exclaimed Lex before he found himself pinned to his cell wall with a kunai stabbed into both of his shoulders. Sorry, but I'm really not in the mood to let a piece of trash like you have the last word here. Don't take it personally. On the other hand, you probably should, since I'm ending your life long before Superman loses his own. So yeah, go ahead and hate me long after you enter hell, said Naruto before stabbing Luthor in the heart with a third kunai. Only this one had an explosive tag on it. By the time the explosion died down and the alarms quieted, Naruto was elsewhere, and the news reported a short time later of Lex Luthor being declared dead. 1. Less threat to the world. Sometime later elsewhere. Donna Troy, Wonder Girl was flying around on her own city on patrol, in her own superheroine outfit similar to that of Wonder Woman. But the Amazon warrior was not truly in the mood for patrolling. Why? Her sister was, or rather had left the planet to get married. Married of all things, in some intergalactic wedding with 2 other women, and 1 man. And not just any man, but Superman. Sure, Donna met him a few times, a little wary of the Man of Steel since she had been raised to be cautious of men, and not to fully trust them based on what men did to the Amazons ages ago. Given how Superman was essentially considered the supreme embodiment of all things male, Donna had always kept her guard up around the man, and while she could tell he was indeed trustworthy, this wedding had the Amazon warrior on edge. Naturally, it upset Queen Hippolyta something fierce when she heard the news once Donna came to the island to tell her mother about it. In fact, it upset Hippolyta so much that she nearly left the island to confront Superman and the rest of the Justice League in the desire to stop this wedding from happening. The Amazonian queen had no intention of have her daughter, along with some other woman of warrior status, become some kind of royal concubines to Superman, while another queen was his official wife. It was bad enough Diana was in a relationship with a man, something that still burned the queen up inside, but to be a part of said man's now acquired harem with 2 other women, it did not matter if they were warriors themselves, was an insult to everything the Amazon stood for, and wanted to put an end to this travesty immediately. Fortunately, Hippolyta did not leave the Masira because Donna immediately offered to talk to Superman about this issue and get him to call off this wedding, or convince him to get Diana out of it to return home. Unfortunately, Donna found her plea to get Diana out of this wedding, in every sense of the word, to be a lost cause, since the Man of Steel explained how things went down on Almerac, with the incredibly stubborn queen. If this wedding did not go through as planned, Almerac would declare war on Earth, and their queen would ensure that everyone involved in the disrespect against her was blamed for it. Not only did this include himself, but Diana, and Big Barada herself. The wedding was not only meant to bind the Earth and Almerac together in a powerful alliance, but also to keep an unnecessary war from happening. Donna understood. She didn't like it, but understood all the same. Alliances were made or destroyed through arranged marriages with non-negotiable terms and conditions attached to them. The Man of Steel did not hide his love or affection for Diana, from what Donna had seen when the two were together. Besides, it had been a moot point to plea for the wedding to be called off due to the Man of Steel, and several others going to the wedding were about to leave just after the issue with the One Titans member, Beast Boy, had been properly resolved. I hope my sister is happy with this. The idea of her sharing a man with another woman just feels strange to me. Mother will not be happy about this news in the slightest. How do I even break it to her that I failed my mission? Thought Donna, while wondering how that would even work since she knew Diana was a headstrong woman like their mother. Taking orders from another queen, much less a woman who was going to be with the same man, was not something the young Amazon expected to happen. Donna wasn't even sure how Diana would even handle this strange relationship. After all, her sister would be contending in a sense with another warrior woman named Big Barda in this mess too. And Donna was sure the Queen of Almerac was going to enjoy pitting the two women against each other while she gained influence over Superman. At least that was what Donna thought on the matter. "Hello," exclaimed Naruto behind his kitsune mask while waving wildly at Donna from a nearby building. "What in the name of Zeus?" asked Donna when seeing the masked ninja waving at her like an idiot. "Over here! Over here! Wonder titties!" exclaimed Naruto, knowing it would upset her, the Amazon warrior. "What did you just call me?" demanded Donna while she glared at Naruto's masked face with an intense amount of anger. Wonder titties. That is your name, right? No, damn. Is it Wonder breasts? Or Wonder hooters, maybe? Wonder nakaka, exclaimed Naruto as he dodged the angry Amazon woman trying to take his head off with her fists. "I am not so kind as my sister Diana in regards to the lewd remarks men like you make about my body. I will not tolerate it," stated Donna while seeing the masked ninja just nodding his head.
I see. Yep, I can see the resemblance. And not just in the body type either. Same facial features. The temper too, though it's clear from your aggressiveness that she was the nice sister. Not like you. No wonder so many men drool over Wonder Woman over you, said Naruto while seeing Donna's eyes narrowed. My sister has recently relinquished her title as Wonder Woman and given it to me to carry on the honor of the Amazons of Themyscira, remarked Donna, which was true since Diana was going to be on another planet for who knows how long. She couldn't be Wonder Woman anymore, and as such had to give the title over to Donna.
Even now, the founding members attending the wedding would have to take the lasso of truth, and the actual outfit itself meant for the champion who won the contest. One that Diana had won, and thus earned the right to wearing it, but now had to give up following the wedding. It was not something Donna thought would happen anytime soon, and she was sure neither did Diana or their mother. Still, Donna knew it was her duty to take over for Diana in this case, or in any other instance that would prevent her from being Wonder Woman. "Really? That's interesting. Oh well. You are also smoking hot too, no question. Plus, I also know Wonder Woman and Superman are an item. No sense in landing smack dab into their lives in such a way. Those two heroes deserve to be together, and by the Ramen and super pervert gods above, I shall make sure it stays that way for all time. No one in the universe shall stand in the way of their relationship. No one, I say," declared Naruto in dramatic fashion, in a weird stance worthy of Madoge whenever he went on a rant about the springtime of youth. "I don't know who you are, but it's clear to that your mind is not of the same persuasion," said Donna while Naruto now crouched down and ran a finger in a circle on the ground. "So mean. Why must all the beautiful smart women be so mean to me?" asked Naruto to himself while rain clouds appeared over his head and rained down on him. "I didn't mean to insult you, that is to say I," replied Donna while unsure of what to say as she flew closer to him. "So, you're not being mean?" asked Naruto while letting out a sniffle behind his mask. "No," answered Donna to appease the depressed masked man while flying closer to him. "Really?" asked Naruto while Donna nodded. "Really?" replied Donna before landing on the roof near Naruto. "Awesome! Thank you, Wonder Knockers! exclaimed Naruto before he surprised Donna and hugged her suddenly with his masked face buried deep in her impressive bust. "Get off me!" protested Donna while finding his strength was practically a match for her own and couldn't be removed so easily. "But I like placing my head on your boobs. They are such wonderful pillows to sleep on," said Naruto despite his words being muffled by his current position, while his hands went to her butt and grabbed each cheek tightly. "Perverted fiend," exclaimed Donna angrily, and finally broke out of Naruto's hug and threw him off of her. "Pervert? I'm not a pervert. I am a super pervert," declared Naruto to the heavens above in another dramatic pose, which only seemed to infuriate Donna further. "I will send you down to the underworld to be tortured for eons by Hades himself," said Donna angrily, while getting ready to pound this fool into paste. Wait. I know you're angry, and I'm sorry. I just got overzealous when meeting you," replied Naruto while pretending to be weak and feeble against her and begging for his life. "The sacrifices one makes for a good prank." "I'm still going to beat you to a pulp," stated Donna with her anger still there. "What about a contest? A race of sorts? You chase me around the city and try to capture me for about 3 hours. If you win, I get my body turned to powder via your female fury and ever-righteous Amazon super strength enhanced fists," offered Naruto while Donna narrowed her eyes at him. "And if you win?" asked Donna cautiously. "If I win, I get a free pass on," said Beating. "You want to give me now, and an additional one well into the future should a similar meeting like this happen again," replied Naruto with Donna gritting her teeth, knowing her desire to hurt him would have to wait until after she won this bet. She didn't have to accept, but something told Donna this man was not what he seemed, and not accepting would only make her angrier. One didn't just wear such clothing and act the way he did when your strength practically rivals an Amazon warrior like herself, or even Diana. No. He was playing the fool to throw her off guard, and up until now, the man had succeeded. But not anymore. "I accept your terms. When do we start?" asked Donna while Naruto smirked underneath his mask. "Now!" exclaimed Naruto before he ran past her and smacked Donna hard right on the ass. "Smack! You are dead. Do you hear me, man?" yelled Donna, while she chased after the masked ninja, laughing at her embarrassment. "Maybe. I overdid it with that last part." "Nah," thought Naruto while running through the rooftops and could sense the angry Amazon woman flying toward him with the intent on smashing him to pieces. Dodging left, moving right, and jumping all over the place to throw Donna off her game was fun for Naruto. She was fast, agile, sharp as a whip, and was getting smarter in terms of anticipating his movements. The Amazon warrior almost caught him twice, but Naruto was able to dodge at the last moment, and both times seemed to infuriate Donna all the more. "Hold still, you fiend!" exclaimed Donna as she was slowly losing her patience and just wanted to rip him apart. "Yeah, how about no?" Naruto shot back before jumped off the air conditioning unit. He was one when Donna was nearly upon him and saw her destroy it. "This is so infuriating. How can he keep doing this?" thought Donna while she glared at the clearly amused ninja. "Question, would it be wrong to ask you what kind of panties you are wearing?" asked Naruto with Donna glaring while trying to catch and smash him into pieces. "I will not play your game and give you a response," replied Donna as she launched a kick at him, but he dodged and knew he was getting to her. "So, frilly panties? Striped panties? White panties, or mostly white panties with a tiny design in the center? Or is it a thong? One of those tight form-fitting thongs that act as a second skin?" asked Naruto with Donna getting angrier. "Shut up!" exclaimed Donna while she saw him go into a thinking pose. "No, not a thing. Not from what I felt when groping your wonderful butt earlier. Could you actually not be wearing panties? Is that it? Are you going commando?" "No, not commando. I suppose the term here would be go Amazon since it seems more fitting, like your outfit. That red and gold one-piece outfit you are wearing may cover up more skin, but it doesn't mean it is not just as sexy as your sister's Wonder Woman outfit. I can't wait to see you in the suit and armor," commented Naruto with Donna letting out an angry scream, and charged him. She almost got him for that 1 second. "You won't see anything because I'm going to rip out your eyes and stuff them down your throat," exclaimed Donna, since she felt insulted. And the Amazon culture was insulted by this man. "That was a close one. You almost had me there that time. But alas, it is not to be, and our little game comes to an end," said Naruto dramatically before he leaped backwards off the building to the streets below. When Donna rushed to catch him, she found his form was nowhere to be found, and was confused how he could do that so easily. "This isn't over. I will get my hands on you. And when I do, none of your gods will save you from me," thought Donna angrily. "No, you won't," echoed Naruto's voice in the sky, and made Donna look around. "Yes, I will," countered Donna while feeling like she was talking to herself and feeling a tad foolish. "Won't," Naruto's echoed voice shot back. Batcave sometime later. "I'm not going to ask how you got this number, but I will ask you not call me back again. Ever," stated Batman on the line with the one person he didn't want to speak to right now. "Your concern is noted, and most likely I won't. But all the same, we need to talk about some things," said Amanda Waller on her end of the phone. "I have nothing to say to you, or what you represent," replied Batman coldly. "Well, I do. I know you are having trouble with a certain group of ninjas in Gotham City, and they made you a wanted man among the police department," said Waller, knowing it would get his full attention. "Your point?" asked Batman while waiting for Waller to tell him what she wanted with this call. "I have the same ninja problem you do. The ninja you are hunting, but no doubt can't for whatever reason, is one I wish to hunt as well. He killed Dr. Hamilton and has recently killed former 4-star General Sam Lane, along with Lex Luthor. I can't prove it with the last two, but I know it was him," said Waller while Batman narrowed his eyes. "And why would this ninja go after Dr. Hamilton? Unless, of course, he was working for you and the other two," questioned Batman with Amanda Waller going silent for a brief moment. "I will neither confirm nor deny that. What matters is this ninja and his group killed 3 people I respected in their fields. Not to mention he has done a lot of damage to the side I represent. I suspect this is the case on your end, but in far less harmful ways," remarked Waller while Batman was silent now for a moment. "Even if what you say is true, Waller, it doesn't matter. I can handle this in my own way," said Batman while Amanda chuckled. "Can you? You can't even move around your own city freely as Batman anywhere without the police trying to hunt you down. Not that it matters if you stay as Batman or not. The overall crime rate has dropped significantly out of fear for this new person coming back and killing them. But as it stands, we both want this ninja and his little group he's formed to be taken down, which is why I wish to propose an alliance. We gather our resources and take down this enemy before things get out of hand for both of us," said Waller while Batman frowned. "It has already gotten out of hand. My son made sure of that," thought Batman while he glanced back at the elevator that would lead up to Wayne Manor, where his son, Damian, was currently living with Talia and Alfred keeping him company. It had been a bitter pill to swallow, but Bruce Wayne was not about to shun his child, or leave him to be tainted by the boy's biological grandfather. It had taken a massive lecture from Alfred, but eventually the Dark Knight began to see reason, and spent a great deal of time with the curious boy. The more Bruce spent with him, the more the pain and heart over losing his parents seemed to lessen, and was beginning to feel a bond with Damian. One he had not felt since Bruce himself was a boy watching the Grey Ghost show with his father. As it turned out, Damian had a similar fascination, and the two watched the classic shows together with Talia right beside them. Alfred had watched the whole scene from afar, a smile on his elderly face. The loyal butler did not show to anyone since the old days of Bruce Wayne's youth. It was truly the first time in years that Bruce Wayne let down his guard and just enjoyed the simple life as a family man. If this ninja master does find out about our alliance, he will take action against the two of us. Violent action. We both know he won't hesitate to take us out or those we know, warned Batman while Waller was silent for a second. That is a risk we have to take. Or would you prefer this ninja master take the law into his own hands, killing at his discretion? For all we know, he might target innocent people next when there are no more criminals to target. Is that a risk you wish to take? Asked Waller with Batman frowning. We need to be discreet. Incredibly discreet, answered Batman while sensing Waller was nodding on the other line. That goes without saying, Bruce. How do you wish to make contact with me in the near future? Asked Waller while hearing Batman growl on the line for using his actual name. Don't bother. I will get in contact with you. I have better encryption. Also, don't say my real name again when we talk, or this alliance is dead on its feet, replied Batman before cutting the connection and going deep in thought about this issue. The Ninja Master made it clear via his subordinates that any further investigation on his end would result in those close to Bruce Wayne or Batman meeting a lethal end in life, the targeting of Commissioner Gordon, the threat to the man's daughter, and finally, the way Alfred had been nearly killed in a dark ally further proved none of those close to him were safe. If this ninja would go so far with them, would he target Talia? Or, God forbid, Damian? His instincts told him yes. His instincts told Bruce Wayne to not do this, for their sake and his own mentality. But the problem with saying no was meaning. Bruce Wayne was close to stop being Batman. He couldn't stop being Batman. He just couldn't. Every fiber of his being compelled him to be the Dark Knight and fight evil. And yet, it was fighting another compulsion. To be a family man. To protect his family in surrogacy, and now biological with the latter currently upstairs with Alfred. He would tread carefully here. Very carefully. The instant things got too dangerous and the threat to them occurred, Bruce would shift gears to protect them with all his being. The man just hoped it was enough. With Naruto. So Waller has been in contact with Batman, said Naruto, while Starfire was snuggled up against him on the bed on one side, and Tal on the other, with both women having spent time earlier with him in another awesome threesome. Harley was currently in the next room, enjoying the pleasurable feeling of a naked and restrained, via magic, Kara using her mouth on the crazy blonde's womanhood. Kara had unknowingly provoked Harley by denying her babies, the two hyenas, some prime rib when they wanted it, and decided to teach the female Kryptonian a lesson. Yes. From what I overheard above Wayne Manor, the two have formed an alliance with one another. Still hard to believe someone like Bruce Wayne is Batman. I figured Waller might learn about it given her own level of intelligence, resources, and cunning. But why keep it from the others? Why keep it from Dr. Hamilton, General Lane, Tala, or even Luthor? Questioned Galatea with Naruto smirking at her. Who is to say she didn't? General Lane. I imagine she told recently because those two think alike to some degree. Plus, the former general would, and could have used it as leverage to get some military contracts out of Wayne Enterprises if he played his cards right. Dr. Hamilton did not have the iron will to withstand an interrogation, if ever caught by the Justice League for his contributions to Cadmus. The information wouldn't have interested Tala here in the slightest. As for Luthor, I'm willing to wager she didn't tell Luthor because he would have acted on the information almost instantly with an attempt on Bruce's life, or find a way to blackmail him. While the latter would have been ideal for Waller, I think she also believed Luthor would have done it on the side without telling her, said Naruto while Galatea thought it over and nodded. So how do you want to handle the two of them? Asked Galatea before she removed her white leotard and got on the bed naked for his enjoyment. I will let them scheme for now. I was going to remove Waller anyway soon enough. She has been using what resources available to find ways to track me down. While her efforts have been unsuccessful so far, I'm not about to let Waller's luck change and get a lucky hit on our location, answered Naruto while groaning in pleasure at the feeling of his dick now inside of Galatea. Good. I want her dead. I overheard her talking with my hearing sometimes when I was at Cadmus. Always talking like I was property. Like I was some product or tool she could use and not care what happened to me. It is high time that arrogant bitch was taken out of the game, said Galatea while she moved her body up and down roughly, and loved the pleasurable feeling behind it. And she will die soon enough, Galatea. I promise you that much, said Naruto while he watched the woman ride him with a passion, moaning his name, and how much she loved getting fucked by him. Damn, he loved his life. Whirlpool Inc. sometime later. The shadow clone of Naruto going by the name Uzumaki Menma looked at the woman in front of him. Of course, given her appearance, the term woman seemed to be a simple generalization of her gender, and not what she was outside of it. The woman in front of him could easily be described for all intensive purposes as a cat girl. Seriously, This woman quite literally looked like an actual cheetah, spots and all, a tail, fur, claws, and everything else under the sun. I'm a bit surprised you came to see me in person, Miss Minerva. Normally, the policy is to surrender to the police and make your one phone call to my company. You being here in this setting could create bad press for me, said Menma, while the woman was not exactly scheduled for an appointment with him, and only got here through evading security before having an all-out fight with Mercy. Speaking of Mercy, the woman was currently getting treated by the company doctors on call in the event. Someone here at the company had injuries due to a lab accident. Mercy was not someone you could take down easily and gave as good as she got for the most part. The cat lady in front of him had a few injuries of her own, with one injury being a big fat black eye from where Mercy got in a good hit. Not that it would show within the hour, since Barbara Minerva, Cheetah had a good healing factor, and already some of the injuries were healing nicely. I know, but I was desperate. I had to see you in person. My past experience with men who I do business with tend to break their deals or promises for their own gain, said Barbara while she watched him cautiously, and the several well-armed security guards around the office. Menma had to play the part of being a normal person after all. I'm not Luthor. Contrary to some who are waiting for me to screw up and resort to being a secret criminal hiding behind a corporate image, I'm not a bad guy. In the time I took over this company from Lex and turned it into Whirlpool Inc., I have already doubled the company's profits and brought it to new heights with the stock going through the roof. All without resorting to weapons manufacturing and unsafe products shipped out before they can be properly tested for safe usage, said Menma with Barbara nodding. Which is why I want to work for you. I would have come sooner when you announced the program, but I was cautious. I am a biologist who specializes in genetics. With the right amount of funding, I could help make human bodies better and expand medical research several times over through my genetic research, offered Barbara with Menma nodding. Yes, I can tell as much from the resume you provided, despite having to sneak in here and fighting Mercy outside of my office. Most impressive, by the way. I could tell that while you have no real fighting experience outside of your animal instinct ones, but Mercy is no slouch, and to take her down before I took you down is actually worthy of praise, said Menma with Barbara looking at him in surprise, since she assumed he would be pissed at her defeating Mercy prior to him firing a tranquilizer gun hidden in his desk that knocked her down until security could arrive. Really? Asked Barbara with Menma smiling and nodding. It means you are determined. I admire those who are determined to fix things and not just sit back wallowing in self-pity, said Menma while Barbara nodded. So what now? Asked Barbara while glancing over at the armed security that made those employed by Lex seem like a joke. Now comes the part where we decide how to get you here while making sure the media doesn't blow this out of proportion. First, you are going to go with my security here and await the police to pick you up. Officially, you are a wanted criminal, explained Menma to Barbara's shock. But they will arrest me, protested Barbara while the guards aimed their guns at her, but Menma raised his hand to stop them and her from further action. I know they will, but it's standard procedure. I'm not going to press charges against you, if that is what you are worried about. One of my attorneys who will represent you from here on out will be along shortly after you arrive at the given precinct and get you out on the same program I was able to get Mr. Fries, Dr. Isley, and Mr. Hagen on in terms of reintegrating yourselves back into society. Once your overall situation has been properly examined, replied Menma, while Barbara looked uneasy about it. I don't do cages. My animal instincts will make me feel edgy, commented Barbara while Menma nodded. Which is why I will ask you be allowed to wait in one of the interrogation rooms with only one police officer until my attorney gets there, said Menma, while Barbara growled a bit. I still see it as a cage, grumbled Barbara. I can see why you would, but at least it doesn't look like one per se. Besides, a cage for an animal is with bars on all sides for walls and a bar-style door to enter or exit. At the very least, you will be in a room that doesn't resemble a cage that an animal would be seen in. So long as your animal instincts don't see it as a cage, you won't have the urge to lash out like one, replied Menma while Barbara nodded. If you think this is best, said Barbara while Menma nodded. It is for the best. Don't worry, I have what you gave me right here. And I can easily look into your other past work too. Rest assured. Miss Minerva, there will definitely be a place for you here at Whirlpool Inc., and the same can be said for your work being of interest to me, said Menma with Barbara nodding before she stood up. Thank you, Mr. Uzumaki. Again, I am sorry for breaking into your company just to see you, said Barbara while Menma laughed. Water under the bridge. In fact, I'm flattered a lovely woman such as yourself went so far to see me in such a manner. I find it make me feel desirable, joked Menma while Barbara blushed, though it was barely noticeable beyond the fur. After Barbara left, Mercy came in about 10 minutes later with a slight limp, but nothing that couldn't be treated by him personally. She had a black eye of her own. The clothing Mercy wore was slightly damaged from when Cheetah attacked, and a scowl was on the now angry woman. I hope you reduce her pay to cover the damage done, remarked Mercy, while Menma used his powers to heal her up quickly, so she wouldn't be walking with a limp for a while. Be nice, Mercy. You have to admit, it was impressive for someone to make it all the way here and survive an all-out fight with you. Animal instincts or not, Barbara did push you to the limit with her agility and the cat-like reflexes her body possesses from being part cheetah, replied Menma while Mercy growled angrily. You would like her body in a perverted sort of way. Still, I didn't think bestiality was your thing, commented Mercy while Menma smirked. It would only be bestiality if she weren't human. She's half human and half cheetah. But I digress. The point being, Barbara Minerva is considered to be, or was considered to be, the top geneticist in the world when it came to altering genes in the body with that of other genetic variables. I read some of her work even before she came here to see me. It's not half bad. If done properly, this splicing, as it is called, would help many people with their problems. Accelerated healing, the ability to run faster, improved strength, a boost in a person's immune system, even taking out life-threatening genetic disorders or deadly diseases a person inherited over time. An accelerated metabolism for those in need of it, depending on the food they eat, with other possibilities waiting to be tapped by the right people like myself, replied Menma before showing her some of the lab results Barbara had managed to keep and actually wanted to show for her rather unorthodox interview she just had with him. If Luthor were here, he would want to dissect her and use the samples taken to recreate her condition, commented Mercy while Menma smirked. I'm not Luthor, nor am I planning to let her condition be lost in terms of studying. The data she had on herself, plus what we learned from it from our own lab, will provide us with an in-depth look on how it happened and on how to possibly reverse it. I can easily tell the woman mainly wants to work here in the hopes of finding a cure for her condition, which I have no problem providing her. At the same time, once Barbara is cured of her said condition, she can help in replicating the process in a much safer yet controlled, and more importantly, reversible manner, countered Naruto with Mercy nodding. Harvey, Dent's recovering nicely. I spoke to his now fiancée again, Grace. The home you provided them to live in together and help him recover was a nice touch. I just wish they weren't all being swarmed by reporters, said Mercy, knowing the press were still having a field day with Harvey being healed, and some even trying to provoke Two-Face into reappearing to have something for their paper. Has their security I ordered to protect them from such harassment been doing their job? Asked Menma in a serious tone. Absolutely. One of the reporters from the Daily Planet named Clark Kent wishes to have an interview with them for the paper. Since they are being sponsored through Whirlpool Inc., he thought it would wise to get permission from us first if it was okay to speak to them. He promises to be civil in his questioning, said Mercy, while knowing it was not the man himself, since she learned from her current employer that Clark Kent was in fact Superman. Looking back, Mercy wanted to slap herself for not seeing it sooner. What's more, she learned he was heading to Almerac to marry a warrior queen of the planet and live there from now on, which was a pity since the man did such wonderful human interest pieces and really knew how to pull the heartstrings of people who read his work. I see. With the real one off to the wedding and new life, the Martian Manhunter has to take over for a time, until enough has gone by where Clark Kent has an accident of sorts, and he is officially dead. Still, it's clear the real Clark Kent would have done the same thing if he were still on the planet, and I doubt the Martian will go so far as to try reading Harvey's mind given the procedure done. So let him do it. Besides, the world will soon suffer the loss of a time without Clark Kent to write human interest pieces. And I think it is only fair we need to give him as many good stories as we can. If only to help carry on the legacy he leaves behind when it's officially over, replied Menma, knowing it would only be fair to protect Clark Kent's legacy as much as Superman, even if they were the same person, and living different lives. I'll let Mr. Kent know right away, said Mercy before she left the room to make the call to the Daily Planet. While you are at it, Mercy, see if you can reach Mr. Henry Irons. I want to talk to him about his suit he originally designed for the police, added Menma with Mercy, looking back curiously. Why? The power suit he designed was deemed too dangerous to use, asked Mercy with Menma nodding since it was dangerous. At the time, yes, it was dangerous. It needed proper work, field tests, more tests, and a lot of other things Luthor didn't do, which resulted in that whole fiasco that made Mr. Irons quit his job. I want him here working with us to help making an improved version for the police to use to further protect us from crime. At the very least, see if Mr. Irons is willing to come here to speak to me face to face on the matter. Such potential and brilliance with what he can do should not be wasted, said Menma while Mercy nodded, though she was unsure if the man would accept. I hear he's with the Justice League these days. Goes by the name of Steel. In honor of Superman, I believe, being the main reason, added Mercy for good measure. All the more reason to employ him. He can be my liaison to the Justice League in terms of what both sides have to offer each other, remarked Menma, knowing such a move was putting the Justice League closer to him and his operations. It would no doubt make Batman's paranoia increase, if not make him very nervous deep down at having a possible threat having a connection into the League. You just want to have an excuse just to make Batman sweat underneath his mask, said Mercy with a smirk on her face. No comment, replied Menma with a smirk of his own, while watching Mercy sway her wonderful ass out of the room. He was so tapping that later, her and Pamela together, if Menma had his way, which he usually did,